talking about the Keira Foundation, and I'm pleased to introduce professional Gainesville-based photographer Randy Batista. And Randy, I've known you a long time. It's great to have you here again on the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Oh, well, you know, I suggested that you become a part of the Share the Cure event. And then the next thing I know, you're traveling down to the Dominican Republic with Chris and Michael Lizardo.
And thank you for the referral, actually, because it was a wonderful experience, needless to say.
I know.
I was, you know, as a documentary photographer, which is what I love to do, going to the Dominican Republic and seeing what I was able to capture was a very moving story. And the foundation is doing a great job of really working with these children.
Right. But you have the eye that can express it for all of us to see, since we can't all travel there, and we can talk about it in words, but in photographs it is very meaningful, and it touches you in many ways. Mm-hmm. Talk about that, your personal heritage, your background.
Well, as you well know, I'm one of the island guys, you know, from the Cuba, and I've seen the struggles that other countries in the third world have to deal with healthcare, or with, you know, basically meaning of trying to do everyday life.
Yes.
And in this sense, when I was presented with the ability to record this event, this sequence of going down to the Dominican Republic to document what we were trying to, you know, portray in this event that we're doing.
Right.
It was a very moving experience, and it was like, I felt like you really got a sense of, you know, how much can really be done by the Keira Foundation, yes, which is a very moving experience in itself.
Well, and you were at the clinic,
mm-hmm.
So tell us a little about that. You were with patients, with families, with doctors. How did it unfold?
Well, when I first got there, the clinic was already pretty full. There's just these plastic chairs. Actually, the room was filled over capacity. People were actually standing, waiting to get, you know, to be seen by the physicians. And it was a room filled with kids, you know, just from all ages. And so as you begin to sort of move through the crowd and you look at these faces, you know, even though they're through all this pain and anguish, there's still that glint of hope. And right. I think that that's what this foundation does, is that it gives these children hope that they will be able to conquer this disease. And I think, as Chris had mentioned earlier, that, you know, 80% of the children are, due to this foundation, are able to actually survive through the treatment. And
right.
it's prior to that, it was just the other way around. I mean,
exactly. They were losing
80%
of the children.
And this is what they could account for. It doesn't even go into the ones that they really...
Right, that you never know.
Exactly.
That don't even get
that
that far along. Right.
They don't do the record keeping like we do here.
Exactly. And through this fundraising, they've been able to encourage families to continue the treatment, to help with the Share the Cure home that you were able to visit, that is so meaningful, so families can stay together during this time. It just must really reach across to you. I mean, now you can speak Spanish, so you didn't have a
mm-hmm.
language difficulty.
It was a wonderful, yes, it was fabulous to be able to get right to
yes.
the heart of the matter.
Right. And what about the doctors that you met?
Oh, they were extremely professional.
Okay.
You know, I got to travel through the clinics and through the lab. So, I mean, we got to see the actual, you know, samples of the stains, samples, and it just was really so moving to see how well staffed this clinic is. This is not a, you know, run, you know,
right.
mediocre facility. This is an absolute state of the art in a country that really does not have those means in this.
Right, to bring the treatment to the children, but the Lizardos, you know, researched very thoroughly that they could work with this clinic, and they work with the University of Florida College of Medicine and through St. Jude's Research Hospital. So, I mean, it mm-hmm. is very well thought out. And that comes across when we're at the fundraiser March 3rd. You talked about the graphs and the success and everything. I mean, it is totally documented.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Absolutely.
see. But
Absolutely.
Only your camera can show those children's faces. Their numbers when you're there. But as I understand it, we will get to see a great many more of your photos at that event.
Yes, and we're very excited about that.
Yes. Will some be mounted, presented at the Phillips Center?
We're just working on
You're still working
it's
on
all
this.
coming together as we speak, as a matter
Okay,
of
so
fact.
that means that people need to attend.
Absolutely.
To be able to see your documentary of this trip.
I mean, this is a very worthy cause. I mean, I've worked with a lot of organizations and through all of my efforts I do in this community. And when I was presented with the opportunity to work with Ilene and Michael, there was no hesitation about me being involved with this organization. I felt like what they're doing is beyond the calling of what most people can do in life, and what they've done is literally save thousands of hundreds and thousands of kids.
Yes, and it inspires us all.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Thank you, Randy.
Oh, it's my pleasure, totally.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.